What's up, gamers? Today, we're just gonna be exploring a Gmod RP server that so happens to have nobody on it. Well, at least at the time of recording this video, there was nobody on it. And I will be talking about my history with Gmod, the past, probably decade that I've been playing this game. Of course, not consistently, but throughout the decade, on and off, more on about 8 years ago or so. It was my first ever game when I got Steam. The same day that I made my Steam account, which was exactly on Halloween. That was the day that I bought Gmod, and of course, Counter-Strike Source only for the textures. And I remember that day exactly. I was lying on my bed on my laptop that I had at the time, and I remember my brother telling me that I'm probably gonna play the game once and then never play it again. And oh boy, was he wrong. I have an unreasonable amount of hours on this game. I was obsessed with it as a kid, mainly because of all the YouTubers at the time of like 2010, 2011. They were all playing Gmod, and I wanted to join in on that fun. And it was fun. Doesn't have the charm, of course, that it used to. But I was a kid then. Sadly, not a lot of things have the charm that they used to from back then. I remember my main go-to RP server was this server called What Games server. I think it was about 6 years ago that the event I'm about to talk about had transpired. But when me and my 3 friends were on this server, it I don't know, it all stuck with us. Even till now, we'll talk about it and reminisce about the days on What Games server. A lot of stuff happened on there. It's kind of hard to pinpoint where to start, but well, the first hour I was on that server, I found a nice little home, and I bought the doors, and then this person came up to my house, and he adverted raid. And if you don't really know what that is, it's pretty much putting in chat that you're about to raid a house or a base or whatnot. And pretty much raid just consists server to get money, and to get a weapon to exact my revenge. And what's funny is I kinda got my revenge a little bit. I should mention, I probably should have mentioned earlier, it's very important that this server, I believe it was every hour, there would be a purge, like, the Purge movie. I think the purge would last maybe 5-10 minutes, and of course you could kill everyone, whoever. And that was kind of the appeal, is you could just hop in, wait till the purge, just kill whoever you wanted for whatever reason. So that was the fun part of that server, is, doing that. And it probably led to the server's downfall, but that person that raided me on my first hour of the game, me and my friends kinda got acquainted with him. A little bit of a friend. He became our friend. And we would become thieves. We would raid people. We would rob the bank. We would just cause a ruckus. We would camp during the purge and use one-shot snipers to kill people that just joined the server, ruining their experience and kind of ruining the server in return. So in a way, I became the villain. I became that person that raided me on my first hour, and I didn't realize it. Of course I realized it now, and looking back on those days, I hate that I did that, but also it was fun. It was thrilling. The thrill of the kill, if you would say. The server had this really cool IED add-on or plugin, and what it would do is you would place this IED, which is like C4. You'd place it like outside of someone's base or right on their base, and whenever it would blow up, all the props in a certain proximity would ragdoll. So you would essentially get rid of that person's base, and it was very expensive to get that IED, but there was a duplication glitch that my friends and I all knew about, and we of course used it. It was very overpowered, and we would use it to destroy bases. It was terrible. I know now that it's terrible. And I think now I pay the price for how I acted 6 years ago. Because now when I play on an RP server, I just choose one of the many characters I've come up with. I got a whole list on my phone and my notes, and they all have different voices, and I just play as them. Not really all that much role play. I just make a house, explore the city, or do whatever, and then just be my character when other players are around. They just have a different personality and voice and such. But going back on to the topic of that server, another cool add-on it had was this gun. It was called an RPK. The cool thing about it was if you had a bipod mod on it, the server was way out of its time. because we had all that money, we also had the power to buy the best weapons, pretty much not have to work for money anymore and do whatever we want. But because we could do whatever we want, because we didn't have to worry about grinding for money, it led to us killing all of the new players and some of the old players over and over and over again until they wouldn't ever come back. And I remember specifically, it kind of miraculously happened overnight. The server was popular, people were getting on it, you know. And then one day it just stopped. People stopped getting on it. People just didn't want to die. From us, of course. They didn't want to deal with us killing them during the purge and dealing with all that, the ruckus we caused. And you might be able to tell now that the server is gone, sadly. The map was so nice, and we made friends, very good friends, from that server. I haven't really messaged them since those times, but I'm sure if I did, I would hope they would remember me. There's something else on my mind about that server, but can't remember. Oh well. Let's look at where we are so far in exploring. Oh, this tunnel. This tunnel is very long. I saw earlier when I was exploring that you could buy a car. And a car is probably, you know, optimal, or this is only made for a car here. Probably, but who knows. But now, when I play Gmod RP, very rarely, I notice the same, or the same kind of mentality that I had as a kid playing RP and being a thief and killing whoever I came across. And it's kind of sad to see that even after all these years, people are still doing that. People that, you know, I was young and dumb at the time. Could still say I still am, but I've learned the error of my ways. A good quote for it is it better to be born good or to overcome your evil nature? And if you don't know, that is from Parthurnax from Skyrim. disclose what server that is. But servers like that have those terrible, terrible microtransactions bother me, because the server, the What Games server I was talking about, did not have that. It had VIP ranks and such, but did not have money that you could buy. I feel like that's just defeating the purpose of an economy, and that hacker ruined the economy. And I've thought about creating my own Gmod RP server. Oh, before I continue, the house I just explored was a beautiful house. I wanted to say that earlier. That is, if I were to play on this server, which sadly I probably won't. I love this map, and I love that house. It is a beautiful house. But continuing, I thought about creating a Gmod RP server just to create it out of spite of my hatred for those types of RP servers that, you know, are very, very money focused rather than user enjoyment focused. And I thought about bringing some of the things I loved about What Game server, like that RPK with the bipod, maybe the IED, I don't know. The IED I feel like is good against people that create those terrible, terrible bases with an ungodly amount of props. Just to kind of, you know, bring them down to a fair level, in a way. And then I was thinking of course this isn't the original idea, but having events every day, at least one event a day. And of course I can't think of an event every day, a new event every day, but to get past that little trouble, I thought of an idea of making a list of 100 events see you're at the park. There's kids playing around. Get out of here. Sadly, this server didn't have like a sitting mechanic, and that's also something I would add on my server if I were to make one, is you could sit on world props or on world stuff or on your own props, and not, I don't know what it is with servers not having that. It's such a small thing, but it makes a pretty big difference, at least to me. I love doing that, being able to put a chair down and actually sit in it. It can add a lot, RP value. And also, the thing I noticed with Gmod RP is that there's always an abundance of people playing thieves or pro thieves or some other name for a thief, like a custom rank or custom role or whatever that, can raid. It's just like, that's what Gmod RP server owners, like, that's what they target, is thieves and people playing that. And it's kinda sad. I mean, there's RP in the name, so shouldn't people be focusing on RP? I don't know. It's just something I would focus on, is I would very limit the amount of thieves, and I would try and push a focus on RP, and I try and keep the economy stable, reasonable, and, alive and not inflated and such, like so many servers are, through exploits, through hacks, or through just paying. Oh, and here we find a gas station for, I guess your car can run out of fuel, and there's different fuel. You have electric, diesel, and I think that was petrol. I kind of like these little shell gas stations. They look cool. They could serve a lot of RP focus if there's a gas station owner or employee, but I don't think there was on this server. I think my favorite role to play as is an alchemist, because I love wizard things, like I've never played D&D and such, but I love that kind of that kind of universe, Renaissance-y, medievally, that sort of universe. I love that. It's very nice. I wonder if there's a game mode on Gmod about medieval RP or something. That'd be cool, but probably be kinda poorly executed. Gmod is kind of a hit and a miss. I don't know. I love the game and such, but the game can kinda be, it can kinda attract the bad people, like the thieves and the raiders and such. Here we are, we just made a complete circle back to the spawn area. That weird, like, bush tree thing, thing I just looked at. That huge wall of just leaves, that's kinda weird, but whatever. I also wanted to try and make a map for Gmod, I've seen that a Bitcoin server and a Bitcoin rack is like the most expensive one you can get. And of course, they're going to be the most profitable, but I wondered, because of how expensive it is to upgrade it, to keep refueling it, to even buy it, how much money does it make and how long does it take to get your money back? And it just kind of bothered me that I didn't have an answer to that question, so I got on. I had enough money to test it, and that's what I did. But and of course I still have all the math on my phone, all the numbers, how much everything costs. I wanted to make sure I got everything. I don't know why, but whenever there's a math problem that comes into my mind and I don't know the answer, it's gonna bother me until I do it and figure out the answer. I don't know. That's just how my brain works, but I do have the answer, and I wouldn't say it's much of an estimate. It is very, very precise. The thing with estimates in me is I do not like rounding or estimating, so I am perfectly fine with having an ugly number with decimals because that is my exact number. But there is very, very minor rounding with the numbers I used. So my numbers come out as accurate as I can make them, as precise as I can make them. And I was very happy when I figured out the numbers, and it was very fun to do all the math. For some people, they probably wouldn't ever think to do the math or think that it was fun, but it was very fun to put all the numbers together and figure it out. And I like to see people type in chat, like, oh, are Bitcoin miners, are they even profitable? Or like the servers, are they profitable? And people will answer them and tell them, oh, they make this much money every now and then, but it's my little secret how much it makes an hour, how much makes a minute. And I might reveal that secret. Again, like I said earlier, I was thinking of making a ASMR video on what I did and all the numbers, starting from how much everything costs and how much it makes a minute, an hour, and how much, or how long it takes to get your sweet, sweet profit and get your money back. And I will tell you this, it takes a while to get your money back, and in my opinion, they are not worth it. But that might be a video for another day. Depends on how I'm feeling. Not about how I'm feeling of if I want to reveal it, but more of if I want to put that together. I'd have to think about how I'd construct all of it. It'd be fun to edit, of course, but I'd have to think. And my brain don't like thinking all that much with that kind of stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm losing it. But we've pretty much explored all the map, and I will say this was a very, very nice map. I think this whole time, I don't even think I made enough money to buy like the lowest tier printer, and that kind of sucks, somewhere like here. I was messing with the camera because the other servers I go on,